I remember the day it happened. I mean, the morning it happened. I had got up. I do gift baskets, so it was around Mother's Day. I was trying to fill my Mother's Day orders and things like that. I went with a friend to clean out, help clean Airbnb, and he had texted me good morning that morning with a whole emoji sun, and then he called me the middle of that day, just to check on me, like, hey, what you doing? How you doing? I said, I'm doing fine, just running some errands. I didn't really go into details of what I was doing. And I said, how are you? He's like, I'm at dialysis. I said, well, okay, well, I'll call you back later. This is the day that it happened. And I remember just saying, I'll call you back later. He said, okay. Nothing in his voice screamed, be on alert, be on alert. Nothing. From the time he texted me that morning to the time I spoke with him that afternoon, nothing felt different. Well, I get home. My friend brings me back. And I remember him just being in the car. And I said, hey, you gonna come in and check the cable? And he's like, yeah, I'll get your cable fixed for you. I remember walking in the house, and he calls me on the phone from the car. My friend does. He say, hey, it looks like it's a man walking towards your driveway. And I was like, I'm not thinking it's him because I knew he was at dialysis. So I'm like, oh, okay. He said, well, I'm going to just head out. I'll come back and fix your cable in case you need to take care. I said, okay, fine. I look up. It's him walking. The garage was up. So he walked into the garage, into the doorway. I still thought nothing of it. Remind you, he's never hurt me before. So I did not think anything of him that was normal. Like he could come up. I wouldn't be scared for my life or anything. So he stood in the doorway. At this time, he did not have the gun out. He had the gun, I guess, in his waistband, which I didn't even know. I seen my neighbor, my front door was unlocked. My neighbor came running up the front sidewalk. And this particular time, he just entered into the house without knocking. And he stopped at the front door. Now, my middle son is in the kitchen, and I'm standing here, and I'm looking like, what you busting in my house for? That's not like him. He doesn't do this. So I'm like, what you busting in the house for? He never said anything to me. My neighbor said to him, don't do this. Me and my son still shocked because we don't even know what the conversation is about, what they're even talking about. So I'm like, don't do what? So I look at my son, I look at him, and I look at my neighbor. Now I'm kind of just scoping the scene, like what's going on. At that point, he pulls the gun from behind out his waistband and places it on his side. And he told my neighbor, I need for you to leave out the house and close the door behind you. Cool, calm, and collective. He never raised his voice. At that time, he never pointed the gun. He said, I need you to leave and close the door behind you. And my neighbor said, no, I'm not leaving them here with you. Y'all are like family to me. I can't leave you. I can't leave them in here with you with that gun in your hand. So my neighbor stepped in the house. He pushed the door, but he never closed the door. So the door was still somewhat open. I told him, I said, well, calm down. You don't have to do this to yourself. I'm still not thinking he's there to do this to me. I'm thinking he wants to maybe take his own life. So I moved closer to him because I was like, you don't have to do this. You're going to be okay. We can get through this. Again, never thinking he's here to take my life. He didn't say a mumbling word. So my son stopped working in the kitchen and he walked in front of me and he looked at him. He said, please, I can't let you hurt my mama. The next thing he did was raise the gun, cock the gun. And when I heard him cock it, I took and I pushed my son so hard out the way. And when my arm was coming back like this is when I endured the first shot. I knew then who he was coming for. I said to my neighbor, get my kids out this house. My other two children were upstairs. When my son heard the shot, the first shot, my oldest son came running down the stairs. And when he saw me wounded, of course, quite naturally, they think protect. So he came running down the stairs and started running toward my husband at the time who had the gun. My neighbor, he held the gun up toward my son, My neighbor bear hugged him, and I ran over and jumped in front of it. So when he pulled the trigger, I was hit again on my side. My neighbor bear hugged my oldest son and drug him out the front door. And I told him, just get my kids out of this house. And at that point, I kept trying to stay in front of him because I wanted the gun on me. I didn't want him to hurt my kids. I just wanted to make sure my kids were out the house. So I was willing to give my life for them. And he did. So we ran around my island. He got the oldest one out. The baby boy then came down the stairs and stood at the front door. My middle son is stuck in the hallway. I'm yelling for them to get out. He shoots me again. This time it lays me on my back. It knocks me backward, the power from it. And when I fell on the floor, my middle son turns around in the hallway. He comes and he's trying to, his intentions were, like put your arms under me to try to pull me. He raised the gun and he shot the gun toward my middle son. And I said, no. I told my middle son, get out of here, save yourself, get out of here. And I kind of was trying to hit his legs to make him go. And so my son ran and jumped out the window to get out the house. When I looked over, my baby boy was frozen, standing in the front door, just crying, tears coming down his eyes. I said, please, please, please. And while I'm begging my son to leave, he shoots me again in my abdomen. And my son still couldn't move. I say, please. And he shoots me again. Finally, my son leaves out the house. And I'm laying there on the floor, just me and him in this house. I had made up in my mind that that day was my last day. And I didn't mind. I felt like my boys were out. And if this what it had to be, then this was what it had to be. So I looked up at him and I told him in a very soft, weak voice, I said, I thought you'd never do this to me. I said, you said you loved me. And I said, but if this is how it has to end. And so I closed my eyes and I said, Jesus. I just remember that being the last name that I called. And he raised the gun up and he aimed it at my head because that was going to be his final shot. And it felt like something took its hand and pushed my face over. I heard the gun go off. And when I opened my eyes, the bullet was in the floor next to me. And I just heard a still, soft voice say, get up and run. And I'm processing, but things it's going so fast, yet so slow. I saw the bleach bottle on the floor by the island. And I noticed he was still kind of weak, so I know he had to have went to dialysis because how he was kind of shaking, a little bit trembling. I took that bleach bottle with the hand that wasn't shot up, and I tossed it up to cause a distraction on him. And I remember just getting up and running toward that door. My front door is not even that far from where I was, but it seemed so far away. But I knew that I just needed to make it on the other side of that door. And I did. When I got up and started running, whatever it was in him must have pissed him off because he began to try to empty the clip. And I just remember hearing the gun go off, bang, bang, bang. But not one bullet hit me from the back. And when I made it out into the street, I can hear the sirens. I can hear the sirens at a distance. Everything was going so fast. I saw neighbors standing out. And as I'm in the street, my adrenaline felt like it was starting to come down. And so I felt like I was going down. And I heard my baby say, Mama, run. He's still coming. That man had been went out the garage door the way he came in, stood in the yard in front of the neighbors, saw me in the street, and began shooting again at me. He had an assignment. He wanted me gone that day, and he was not going to stop until he succeeded. And my neighbor once more, and I give him the world's credit. Like, I thank God for him every day. He's like, we got to get you around here to hide. So he helped me get around. I went near his sister's place. And at that point, they say, my husband at the time just casually walked away, got in the vehicle, and drove off. And they put me in a car and drove me to a hospital. And from that hospital, I was taken by life flight to a trauma uh, hospital.